So most of the time, I would say that perfect endings don't exactly exist. But episode number 13 of Kaguya-sama, I think really just absolutely nailed the ending of like it. It just absolutely crushed. Let me use that word. I'm going to say it just crushed the ending of Kaguya-sama, and I really feel like this was the perfect ending, and I feel like it can 100% continue on from here towards the it's December now. Their school year ends in March. So I feel like we could get a continuation of this school year and then up to when they apply and go for Stanford or whatever ends up happening next. I really feel like this is a perfect ending, but it leaves the door kind of like cracked open for if there is a continuation of the anime in the future. Obviously, it all depends on the actual source material, which I heard is ending, or it either ended or is ending. So I feel like it just kind of leaves that door open for us to have a continuation. But this was the perfect ending, and it is even more solidified if you stay after the credits and watch the episode, which I'm sure that you did. You can see that the main question was, especially that was posed by Shirogane, was what is our relationship going to look like between him and Kaguya? What's it going to look like tomorrow? And we got to see that it's more of the same, more of the student council antics, but in this case, it was them holding hands, which basically solidifies all of our questions in one little moment without actually verbalizing it, which I think is absolutely awesome. Then we actually have the whole entire confession, which, at the end of the day, the actual quote-unquote confession didn't happen. But I think things still ended up working out because you have a confession and then you have go to a different country with me. And I think that is definitely a little bit higher than your standard, hey, let's go to McDonald's on Tuesday kind of thing. So I think that was awesome. And I need to know, and if you can answer that question in the comments, I need to know if you felt the same way I did. When the balloons released and Kaguya was first gazing upon the balloons that Shirogane kind of put out there, in that moment, when he's looking back at her, I kind of got emotional for like a second, right? It went away pretty quick, but in that moment, I still kind of got like emotional. And I really felt like it was a reward for us as dedicated viewers watching throughout this entire season. And I guess all 3 seasons, all the seasons, it was like a reward for us watching and investing so much time into here. And really what we watch for is the comedy and the eccentricness and the plot that is just hilarious. But the subtext is always that romance. And this one, called Ultra Romantic, brought it all together, brought it all back. And Shirogane really pulled off this dastardly thing. And right at the tail end, right at the tip of his confidence ending, he was able to pull off something very special. They were both able to grab a blue balloon and a red balloon. She was able to let go of her balloon. Shirogane was able to ask her to go and apply for Stanford. He put all the pieces kind of already. He set the stage. He talked to one of the other girls to help him with the balloon stuff. He talked to the principal about giving 2 recommendation letters, one to him and one to Kaguya. Confident enough that he said, Kaguya, she's gonna need it after this festival. And like, he set up all the pieces, all the chess pieces are on the board for him to just checkmate, and he was able to pull it off. Now obviously, we want to hear the I love you, whatever, but I don't think it was needed. I think what they ended up doing with this was just it was absolutely perfect, and I enjoyed every single moment of it. The only thing that I would have loved to see buttoned up a little bit more, but we got a hint at it, was just Ishigami. And for him, obviously, we have the Tsubame stuff that happened last episode. And obviously, he gave her like a 3-month timeline and stuff with that. But really, it is the Ishigami and Miko, Ishigami and Lino. I get those two always confused. Ishigami and Lino narrative that we want to see. And I think it was kickstarted this episode by not only his grand gesture of thinking of Lino, right? Because, I mean, even if it was subconscious, he did think of her. He recorded the bonfire, and then he gave her something, that he found, which ended up being Kaguya's love confession that she ended up losing, which I think Lino is not going to turn in. She's going to cherish that, in the moment that Ishigami stepped out of what her mental image of him was. I think that kind of gave us a hint of what could come in the future for those two, because I think they are more well-suited than him and Tsubame. But even though that is true, I do want to see my boy Ishigami get a win, because Tsubame is a pretty cool character. But overall, I think this episode absolutely crushed it. I think it was everything I wanted it to be. I loved seeing Miyuki look like a fool. I loved seeing him be a phantom thief. I loved seeing all the way that he led up to that moment. I love seeing Fujiwara and the girls find a secret, basically solve the mystery that Miyuki put, even if it wasn't intentional. He put a mystery there, and when they solved it, it led them to the library, and it led a book to a back door opening, and one of the girls was able to see the kiss between Kaguya and Ishigami and just kind of throw them into a frenzy. I think everything that they laid out this episode was absolutely perfect, and I think this was the perfect ending. This was the best ending to any anime this season by far to me. I think this one just absolutely nailed everything I wanted from a last episode, and I think they absolutely crushed it, and I feel rewarded, and I can't wait to rewatch this again when it gets dubbed. When the dub finishes, I will rewatch it again and be rewarded yet again when I get to this point. That's all I have for you guys. Otherwise, all I have is appreciativeness and thanks for being with me all season long through Kaguya-sama, being with me through the ending, through the confession and everything that we had to go through. This has been an awesome ride, and I appreciate you. Don't forget that I will be here in the summer as well, covering a ton of different anime, so make sure you guys check out the video on screen that is showing you the 10 anime that we'll be covering on the channel. And of course, I love to hear your final thoughts in the comments. All right, my friends, I'm going to catch you on the next anime premiere very soon. Peace out.